In this video, I'm going to lead you through a series of mobility exercises. You can consider this as a form of stretching. Mobility is the range of motion you can access in your daily activities, exercises, and so on. It is important because it allows you to get into the positions that you need to get into in all sorts of movements. Having mobility allows you to execute movements safely with less compensation from other joints, from other body parts, and that prevents injury. I think about mobility more functionally. It is a bit different from being flexible in general, which I would consider as a more passive, like a sit and reach type of idea. I emphasize the application of mobility into movements, not just for the sake of being flexible. For example, going up and down the stairs requires ankle mobility, so your knees have to go past your toes in order for you to go up and down the stairs smoothly. Picking up something from the floor requires you to have ankle and hip mobility to limit rounding at your spine. Washing your hair, drying your hair requires shoulder mobility, overhead mobility to do these comfortably. You also need mobility to do well in any exercise in fitness classes or in a gym, execute them safely and doing well and increasing in strength safely. So typically we want to be mobile in our ankles, stable in our knees, mobile at the hip, stable at the low back, and mobile at the shoulders. We want stability in the knees because that the stabilization helps to prevent those sideways movement in knees, which is harmful, may potentially be prone to injury with those kind of movements. But having mobility in the hips and ankle helps you stabilize the knees because you don't need compensation from the knees. So this is the idea of it. Applying my background in kinesiology and the strength and conditioning world, I've put together a series of mobility drills that you can do at home. So you can use this whole video as your mobility circuit, or you can pick and choose mobility drills of your favorite to do them anytime you want. So most of these drills can be considered as dynamic stretching, where you move through the range of motion, which I would consider as typically better than static stretching, where you just hold in that end position for a period of time. Both have great effects in improving mobility. I will also create another video, which is a combination of mobility and strengthening. So that's also great as well. All right, so let's get into our mobility circuit for today. Let's start with just like rolling our shoulders down and back, getting into that proud chest position. You want to keep this every time you exercise, sit in front of your desk. That's always good to have. We're also going to need a wall for some of these dynamic stretches. So I'm going to use the wall here. I'm going to elbows up 90 degrees, press that shoulder forward and back. Opening up the chest that sometimes gets tight when we sit in front of the desk for too long. Round up our shoulders. Okay, switch sides. You can literally use any surface you can that you can rest your hand on. So each time you can sink a little deeper into that stretch. Next one, we're also going to use a wall. We're going to face the wall both hands on the wall. We're just going to press our shoulders down. Let your shoulders drop, but keeping that low back neutral. You play around with where your hands are positioned, maybe closer together, farther together. Okay, and this one we're going to rest instead of our hands, rest our elbows. Have your elbows just bent, flexed. Again, same deal, press your shoulders downwards. The previous one was stretching more of the lats, which are the muscles in the back. This one, stretch more of the triceps, which is muscles at the back of your arm. Okay. Now we're just gonna do some side reaches. Okay, switch sides. So this is a great stretch at the side of the trunk, also a little bit inside the thigh. One more each side. We want to sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. Okay, so I'm going to get down on the ground, thumbs to the side, ab walk, so pull the heels to the ground, stretch the calves. Okay, in this position, we're going to, again, same you press our shoulders down, chest to thigh, and then drop belly button to the ground into combo pose. Up. Feet, chest to thigh, belly to the ground. One more, chest to thigh, to the ground. Okay, so we're going to stay on the ground. For this series of exercises, we're going to do one side all together first, and then we're going to do the other side. Yes, that's just for the flow of the movements. Okay, so first one, with one hand, reach far in front of you. The other hand up behind your ears. So press the shoulder on the ground. We're going to rotate the other side, elbows up and down. Sit back with your bum. Okay. Hands on the ground. Kick one leg out. We're gonna walk our hips back and forth. So you should feel stretch in the inside of the thigh. Okay, kick that leg forward in front of you. We're going to press the heel on the ground, sit back with our bum and back up. Sit back up, keeping the crutches all the way through. You should feel a stretch behind your thigh. Gonna rotate so you can see better. Then plant your front foot on the ground. We're gonna drive our knees over the toes. And back up. You can drive a little bit further, right over the toes. Keep your heels on the ground. Okay, take your opposite hand off the front leg, Place it inside the foot. Another step forward. Push your hips forward. Reach to the sky. The other hand and back down. Okay, now drop that front leg, drop your knees onto the ground. We're going into our pigeon pose. We're just gonna rock side to side, front to back. Okay, so back up, we're gonna repeat everything with the other side. Hands on the ground, one leg to the outside, rocking the hips back and forth. Feeling the stretch in the inside of the thigh. Okay, so kick that leg forward in front of you, press the heel on the ground, and sit back with our hips, stretching the back of the thigh. Proud chest all the way through. You don't need to go very low to do the stretch. Okay, now plant that front leg on the ground. We're gonna drive our knees over the toes. Keep that heel on the ground. And drive a little bit further. Okay. Take a larger step forward, push your hips forward, take the opposite hand, place it on the ground, the other one lifts to the sky and back down. Alright, drop that knee onto the ground. Sitting into a pigeon pose, rocking side to side, front to back. Really good stretch for the bum and also back of the thigh. We'll transition to sitting on the ground. Bringing that leg back. We're going for butterfly, so feet together. You can put your elbows against your knees and just going up and down with your knees. Okay, so last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna place our front leg 90 degrees in front of you. The other leg 90 degrees beside you. We're gonna rotate altogether. So you can have your hands supported behind you, but you can also do hands off. So your foot is staying more so at the same spot. You're just rotating your body. This is called the 90-90 because you're doing 90 degrees both legs. Add a stretch at the end. Okay. So this is the dynamic stretch mobility drill circuit I have for you. Apologize for tight space in my room. Maybe if you can't really see what I was doing, reach out to me and I'm happy to help you out. Yeah, thanks for tuning in.